Hello, good mornings, afternoon, whatever it might be, wherever you are. Welcome to Live Coding with Gerph, and I see that from the image we have already got a broken camera. That is just quality. Let's go switch us back to the other camera, shall we? I'm not sure what goes wrong there, but oh dear, we've gone and lost it entirely. There it is, there it is. Thank you very much. Right, good. And breathe. Okay. Let's move along a bit. Let's see if we can. Oh no, move the other way apparently. Okay. No, it's not very good. I don't want to sit more this way. No, I want to sit more this way. Yeah, this is all very professional. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing exactly. I'm complete. Yeah, yes. Hello, people. Do we need to crowdfund to get you a new one? So I'm not sure it's the camera or if it's the dock it goes into or what. I just don't know. There we go. Hopefully I'm back in vaguely central. Oh, it's good enough. It's good enough. All right. Yeah, right. Right, anyway, so what we're doing today is we're catching up with where we were. So usually I would do a bunch of things offline that would sort of get myself ready and prepared and work out what the heck I'm doing in life, and well, mostly on the computer, I guess. Haven't worked out what I'm doing in life other than I'll tell a lie, I'm actually quite happy at the moment. This is novel. It's a natural thing to say I don't know what I'm doing in life, but no, I know what I'm doing. I'm feeling good. All down to Talia. So what are we doing? We're usually clearing things up and trying to make stuff ready for presentation and up for things elsewhere. So this is going to be a bit of a mishmash, I expect, this session. And it's not at all because I haven't worked out what I'm doing, and so I just thought I'd throw in some random bits. Absolutely not. We'll see where we go. So part of this is because for the last week and a half, I've not had a server. It died. It has two power supplies, of which they are redundant. So the first one fails and it switches over to the second one, which is great. But the first one failed and I switched the power over to the second one, and so it was all good and happy and stuff. And then the second one failed and there was no redundancy because I hadn't replaced the first one. And so consequently I had no power to it, which was limiting. So I had to go and buy some more. So I've now got two power UPSs on it, which are PSUs on it, of which only one is connected at the moment because I haven't got round to doing the other one. I will do that later. And we are able to do work again. I mean, I can still do a lot of things on my laptop, but my main GitLab server is all on there, and a whole bunch of other things as well. So I've got loads of things that are queued up, basically. But during that time, I did do a bunch of things, but I haven't updated websites and stuff. So let's start out by updating the sites so that we've got something that's a little bit more up to date. I'm so behind on stuff. I've got people I need to reply to by email. I've got things I need to do for Talia, a whole website to put together for Talia. Well, she's put together the website actually to publish it, and a whole bunch of other things I need to do and I haven't got around to yet. So I'll do those things later. Hi. Ow! It's time for taking a drink because I'm tired. That's a reference back to it being a drinking game. Every time I say I'm tired. Stupidly strange dreams last night. Right, okay, we're 5 minutes in and I've done nothing at all coding-ish. So let's pull up a new terminal. Oh my gosh, I've got loads of terminals open. Oh my gosh. Right, I may need to clean some up when I'm done with this. Because that's a silly number of windows open. Did I actually click new terminal or? I did, thank you. There we are. Right. New terminal. So let's go and see if we can update the status here to have the new things that I've got done. Oh, no, that was the wrong. Focus where you look is not a thing. Did I say I was tired? There you go. I don't want to be in the root. I want to be... Yeah, my root directory is very untidy. Kittens have just... You like the way it's just looking over the top? Hello! Peekaboo! Peekaboo! Tell you, I had said some years ago, I'm a lot more fun when I'm tired. It probably says how unfun I am during the day. Yeah, that. Or maybe that's why I stay tired all the time. That's an interesting thought. Yes, I was looking at Riscos 64 things. So what do? I want to go to find them. So projects, Riscos 64 status. That's where we want to be. Let's pull up a terminal on that. No, an editor on that, sorry. Right. So I've recently changed the format on this because rather than editing the markdown files, we actually edit some data files instead, which makes things a lot easier actually. Well, kind of easier. It's a bit back and forth on that. So we've got basically a list of things here that say what they are, who's doing them, and things like that. So as people start getting involved in things, I've been starting to update things. This was largely had to be done because Piers started doing some work, and I went, I put off doing this for ages because nobody was involved. So now Piers started doing some things, and we've got another guy doing some stuff, and we've got Martin doing some bits, and so it's like trying to get these things together. Oh, obviously there was Steve Revel doing his basic, but we've heard nothing from him for months. So I'm trying to get these things in here. So if we have a look down here, we can actually, if you look for basic, for example, here we go. Basic has got Steve Revel as the owner on that, and so there's some notes on it and things. So that's all how we can manage these things. And what happens is all that is built into current status of all components, this page here, and it pops up the address, the owner, person who's claimed it. Maybe we should say claimant rather than owner. Claimant would probably be a better name there, wouldn't it? Maybe I'll change that as well. So I've done a whole bunch of things here. Oh, I've got loads of them, the BDU stuff. So there's a load of bits here that are done, some of which, sorry, are out in public at the moment, and others are just private on my site, not available elsewhere. But we do have some more things here. So the more things we have are things that I've added to the general modules repository. So git sub module. Yeah, this is going to take a while, isn't it? That's actually running off the bottom of the screen. Thank you. Put it back on again. I think it would be easier to just read the submodules, the git modules file. Git modules. Yeah, that's easier. So if we spin to the end here, there's a few here that I've added. So I think I've got most of these in. Basically, I've tried to name things with 2s on the end so that the file names don't match with the file names of the assembly versions. I think start back. Right. I think those ones are all done. So let's have a look, shall we? So free is up to date, not published. Fair enough. We can probably publish that one actually. It's not very good. It's basically just a stub for the registrations, but best commands 2. Yep, that's in there. They could probably go out as well. Net status, that's published. Good. NVRAM hardware, that's just a prototype module, I believe. So there we go, got that marked as prototype, and it's published, so people can build that if they wish. Timer prototype. Yeah, so let's just scroll that up a bit. Timer, kernel timers, no, it's the actual timer manager module. Yeah, timer manager is published, that's okay, but it is just a prototype module. Video SW. So video SW is the abstracted video drivers. We've got some more on that. That could probably go out public actually. I did some integration last night before I fell asleep. So that could probably go out as well. Next one is joystick prototype. Joystick, the AI version. I should probably take the AI off now because we're at the point where there are a reasonable number of them being AI'd. Super sample. I tested this. It seemed to work, which was good. Super sample. Yeah, there we go. Right, so we might go with testing that this afternoon and see whether we can get something working with it. Inverse table. Inverse table is also claimed. That's good. Convert clear. Because people use clear files these days. No, they don't. Clear was a really good idea. So it was basically an alternative to sprites that could hold other content that was larger than the 256 colors. And then, of course, sprites came along with larger things on them, so it was a bit easier. That could probably go out as well. Image file render. Yeah, I got that. Oh, sorry, no, I'm looking at this, aren't I? Sorry, this list. DUtils 2. Now that's pretty stubby at the minute, if I remember rightly. Yeah, it's quite stubby. Oh, it's actually marked as private. I should mark them as private if I've got things on there. Oh, I haven't tested dually stamped stuff out either. Yeah, so Spanner says he never understood why clear existed when Targa was nearly as simple. Yeah, that's a very good point. Targa was largely an Amiga format, wasn't it? Or was it an Atari format? I can't remember. But yeah, it was a lot more flexible. Plus, Change FSI came with support for that, if I remember rightly. So yeah, it was a bit weird. And I haven't done a convert Targa. We don't see Targa files these days, I don't think. Maybe I should create a convert Targa. Might as well. It wouldn't be hard. Right, DUtils2, fileless wise. Yeah, that could also be published. Another thing I need to work out is what I'm doing with a bunch of the things that are private in my server, whether I duplicate them out into my repository or we create a new organization for RISC-64 things and then people can bundle things into there or we can pull them externally. I think that might be a better idea, to be perfectly honest, because if you bundle it into a RISC-64 organization, then we can have more people involved and we can also just keep it all together of the things that are needed. That might actually not be a bad idea. I don't know if I can create another organization. GitHub. Create new organization. Pick a plan. Free for basics for individuals and organizations. Great figure. 2000 CI per minute. Security, unlimited private and public repositories. A little bit of package storage. Meh. Issues and projects as normal. Community support and code spaces access. You get that with your usual users anyway, so that might be a useful one. Any thoughts from our 6 viewers we've got at the moment? Whether that would be a good idea. Create free organization. I'm not sure because I'm currently part of just one other organization. I know there's RISC-OS community, but that's for general things. This is an actual targeted thing for actually putting things together. So the things that we're clearly missing then Draft pull requests aren't available. How weird. We've got to monetize it somehow, I suppose. Code owners aren't even supported for free organizations. That's really frustrating, isn't it? Only a little bit more in public minutes. But 2 GB storage, that's interesting. Web-based support. Yeah, you don't get any support over here. Secret protection and code security. Yeah. Multiple reviews inside modules. So the basic organization gets you a lot. Maybe. Any thoughts from people? Gratefully received. Right, let's finish what I was trying to do. This is going to be a very bitty session, I'm sorry. Hopefully we'll involve some coding. We'll get there. That's fileless-wise netprint 2. Netprint, sorry. Netprint, yeah, there we go. Not tested in the slightest, that one. CFS driver 2. Also in internals, yeah, so I've claimed all these. All these are apparently actually much more up to date than I thought I was. Desktop 2, desktop, sorry. Not that one, that's the desktop script file. ROM modules, desktop, yeah, I claimed that one as well. Shell CLI, claim that as well. Filter manager, this is a partial one, and again only as far as internals. Serial mouse, so these I'm pretty sure are not in there. Yep, so there we go. I'm claiming that. Oh no. Hang on. Source is the location, isn't it? It's owner that I want to fill in. Is it owner? Owner, yes. There we go. Where's it gone? There. Owner. Gerph. There we go. Copy that. And the PS2 driver as well is in that list. We'll push these up. International keyboard. Oh, I haven't done that yet. That's an evil one, that is. Really want to just rip international keyboard apart and do something completely different. It's a horrible interface. Because really we could do with something that's actually like not built into modules, but you have like descriptions of what the keyboards are, and you could edit them and have a like modern things. International keyboard. No, sorry, I was on mouse 2. Mouse, not check mouse. Serial mouse. Mouse. There we are. What else? Sound scheduler 2. Oh, I'm very sorry. Yep, I think we're done. Scheduler, sound scheduler. I already claimed that one. And the international module. There we go. Spanner says, damn those sound scheduler allergies. Yep, that sounds exactly like it. International, and we're done. That's actually everything. Oh, apparently I haven't done as much as I thought I had. Okay, well, we got some in there. So let's have a quick look at some of the other bits. So right, I was going no, let's change the wording on this. So we want to change the wording for owner to be our owner in is it star.md and star.md. That helps, doesn't it? We've got lots of them. So status has got them. We can fix that in status, can't we? That's easy enough. We have claimant. Where's status gone? Did I move it into features? No. That's got all of planning. No. Is it there and I can't see it? Status, it's there and I can't see it. So I want to replace any instance of space owner space with space claimant space, like that. Replace all. And then just have a quick look through these. Right, every single one of those has got owner in it, which means they're probably updated automatically. Yeah, they are. So it'll be in a Python file somewhere. Let's check if there's anything else. Owner and source and look like that's how to update. Yeah. So let's just change that. That's actually wrong now. Oh no, that's right, isn't it? Yes, that is right. That's how you update that there. And then here it should be claimant and source. There we go. Let's update that. And then if we have a look for the word owner in any Python files, because there's probably one that does the generation. Oh. Oh, there's a lot of them. Is this going to be awkward? It probably is, isn't it? Right, so look, test status pipeline. Actually, let's just go through the others first. So, link module features. So these used to be in Perl, and then I got AI to write it in Python to make it a bit cleaner. Right, what I want to do is look for the space owner. Claimant. All right, so that's all that needed. That's good. Yeah. That one looks okay. All right. Oh, except there was a quote owner in there. If the column is called claimant, then replace it with owner. Hello, Rob. Sorry, I haven't got back to replying to you. I've just been too tired and exhausted these past few weeks. I will get back to you. I'm sorry. I was going to do it last night, but I didn't get around to it. Next one. Status catalog. This one looks like a bit of a pain. Status catalog. What does this do? Shared helpers. All right, this is actually this is used for everything. So if we look for the word owner in this. Oh yeah. Look at that. There's lots of table entries for that. Let's just replace owner with claimant. Replace all. Okay. If I run make now, does it build everything? How do we update it? Make, we just run make, don't we? Processed many Momo diagrams, reused all of them, and uploaded. No, we didn't upload any, I don't think. Oh, it will upload. I'm not sure. Okay, so that looks all right. But it didn't seem to run the test thing. Is there an extra one to run tests? I don't know how the test is run. Because there was a test something in there, wasn't there? Looks like it's now called claimant. No, I want the one that actually was looking for owner. Tests. Where's the test directory gone? Oh, it's there. Oh no, that's not. It's in test status. There. Look for the word owner. That needs to change to be claimants. Okay, I think that'll probably work, maybe. Update owner to be claimant. And also we update in a few modules. Few of the mouse and keyboard drivers have been converted. Let's not push it just yet. Okie dokie. So let's go grab those modules. So we can actually go and put them into the sources. So we go into sources, hardware support. In here we should find mouse 2, git submodule update init. Update dot. Let's catch up with all the all Right, so what were the new ones? New ones was mouse 2 we were starting with. Yeah, good, up to date. Discuss ammo. Builds for 32-bit and discuss 64 ammo. Pretty sure I told things to go and test them in 64-bit, but it doesn't mean it works. So, oh, in fact, it will work, will it? Because these are actually got hardware drivers, so they're not actually going to be able to talk to anything. Little bit redundant there for 64-bit, since we don't have a 64-bit quadrature mouse, but yeah, just one of those things. Status. Okay, so we got those. If we do copy IM32, copy those into there. What we could do whilst we're here is go and publish this repository, couldn't we? Should we do that? And again, there's that question of, do I put it into my area or do I go and put it into a separate organization? I'll put it into my area for now, and then because I can always move things. I can always move them into the organization later. So github.com/Gerph, add new repository, Riscos mouse 2. Mouse 2, mouse. What have I been calling them? Have I been labeling them with 2s on here, or is it only in my internal ones? So it looks like I haven't been naming them with 2s on the end here, which is fine. Right, okay, then let's think about that. So if I go and create the new repository with mouse on there, just as a plain mouse, quadrature Riscos, quadrature mouse driver, create repository. Budding. Right, and then we don't have. Actually, do we even have any CI on it? We have no CI even on this. Riscos project, create CI. Hello, Leo. Leo the Inquisitive. Great PRs. This is the PR and issue handling. Creating a license. This is going under. I don't want GPL. MIT license, please. Anything else I do normally? CI. I normally also just make sure that the Git administration is all correct as well. Bump this up a bit so we can see it. Okay. LS. Lots of new files. And oh, Git attributes has changed. That's interesting. Oh, I've got a header file now. Fair enough. Yeah, so add.git hub, all those, and the .git lab ones as well. Your title makes my muggle non-technical mind excited. Which title? The integrating stuff, or I'm basically trying to catch up with where I was, because I've got lots of little bitty things and I'm trying to sort of get them to the point where they're working. And that means publishing a whole bunch of stuff, which is not that exciting, but hopefully it's interesting enough to people. Right, is that up to date? Yes. Commit. Add CI builds. Issue. PR templates. Code owners. License. To go on GitHub too. And then remote add GitHub. That one. Push. Over you go. And over here. Excuse me. Why? What did I do wrong there? It's not loading. Oh, I pushed it to the wrong. I didn't push it to its local server, not to the remote one. There we go. That'll work. There we are. Right, important things. Tag it with Riscos. There we go. And then just leave the releases in there. Has the action run? It is running. It's doing its stuff. It didn't work. Well, that's reassuring. And it doesn't load because we don't support that hardware, which is understandable. As I said, there's no 64-bit. There's no 64-bit quadrature hardware. So what we'll do is we'll comment this out. No quadrature hardware on Riscos 64 systems. Right, so there we go. It'll build it, but it won't go and run the loads on it, which is pretty good. Come on. I've done it again, haven't I? Oh, I've also got it protected on open on GitLab. Settings. Oh, this hasn't been configured at all. Topics, Riscos. Expand. No. Oh, yeah. No packages. No security. No wiki. No snippets. No operations. Thank you. I'll shrink this list quite a bit, and then repository protected branches, allow force push. And then we come back to here. Where was it? This one. This one. It still broke. Well, that's not very nice. Come on. Now what's wrong? Oh, and yeah, that was dumb. If we didn't load it, we can't kill it. That's really silly. Push, right? Push. Yeah. And push to GitHub as well. There we go. And what I will do is I'll set it up so that it synchronizes. When I push one place, it will turn up in the other one, which is useful. Right, back to the top. Hopefully this time we'll get a successful build. And then I have to repeat all of this process for the other ones. There we are, Riscos build now up there. Awesome. So we've got built set of binaries which we can download, which will be there. It's that one, isn't it? Thank you. Oh, this is the downloads. Get rid of that lot. Here we are. Mouse 2 has lots of little bits in it already. Doesn't have resources yet. I need to get that exported properly, but everything else is there, which is good. Cool. So that's working. Next is, what's next? The URL. So this URL here needs to go into here so we can publish it. So mouse. There's the sources. Okay. Rinse and repeat. PS2 driver. Oh. No, not that PS2 driver. PS2 driver 2. Yeah, thank you. It should be there. Right, same problem as before. Create Git. Actually, let's do this as a Riscos project. Create CI. Riscos project. Create PR. I keep thinking I should do a create all license. There we go. Thank you. Right, git add, and we should have the same set of things there. Looks good. Commit. A. Update the update create CI issue /PR templates code owners. Leo's asked a question which says, can you guide me? I wish to combine open source resources and frameworks for example, skills, pseudo skills like superpowers, GStack, GSD, etc., to craft synergistic frameworks. I realise that's English, but I don't understand what you mean, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. A license. I don't know what most of that is, I'm afraid. Creating these will make us publish all on GitHub. Didn't create a README, did I? Maybe I should create a README for these as well. PS2 driver in C. This is a PS2 driver for Viscos in C. I think that'll do. Add readme. Git. Oh, I also need to update the build thing, although it won't work, will it? Because again, we don't have PS2 hardware. No PS2 ports on Viscos 64. Right, it's actually this is on Pyromaniac, isn't it? It's actually Viscos Pyromaniac that's the issue. Status. So this is where we need to build in Andy's RPCMU to drive it. Commit -a -amend remote add. Oh no, sorry. Forgot we get a message up there as well. Get remote add PS2 driver. Right. Then we need to create the. Oh no, I don't want to. Yeah, we'll have a hour-long wait for our break. New repository. Viscos PS2 driver. Viscos PS2 driver. Keyboard, mouse. In C. Create repository. Git push to the regular remote, and then push to GitHub as well, and then we can reconfigure it to have no deployments or packages. This is also where I should have to get some tooling to go and set up the configuration automatically using the glab tool, but just haven't had the time to do so many things that need to be done or could be done. I need many minions to be able to do this sort of thing. And the AI is all great, but it does things faster than I can generate work for it. So I have to actually go and test things, and it takes even longer, and review what it's done and make sure it's actually sane, which it sometimes isn't. So right, that's up to date there. So now we can go and copy this into the PS2 driver, which is just here. Yeah, there we are. PS2 driver. Cool. Now I want to pop back into mouse. No, not mouse. Mouse 2. Yeah, and have the README file. Quadrature mouse driver for Viscos. This is a quadrature mouse driver used on the RPC, which works for Viscos. It also has support for the STD quadrature interface. There we are. Ow! Say two. So I said, say two open source repos offer similar utility. For example, graph memory or automation. What's the best way to merge or combine them? Well, usually the best way to combine them is to you can build them both independently, and then submodule them so you have one overarching repository that will then use those things. If you want to just merge them, actually literally merge them, then you can use oh gosh, I did it recently for the font manager. So normally Git repositories have a single code path. So you've got a root and you've got lots of things, and then you've got lots of branches that come off it. But what you can do is have them the other way around, so that you've actually got multiple roots that all get merged into one another, which is confusing, but you can do it. I forget how you do it, but I'll show you what it looks like. Going to be a complete distraction here, but what did I say? It was in Font Manager. / video render fonts manager 2. Right, not up to date. Let's pull this up to date. So if we have a look at the history on this as a nice graph, one of the things you'll notice here is that I've got some things stashed. I'm not sure what I've stashed there, but I'll look at that later. I've got some things that's the font cache and rendering. Ooh, I need to get that merged in. Ooh, I didn't know about that. I'll have to get that working. Excellent. But so those are extra branches, okay. But as we scroll down here and come down here, you'll see that there's like a whole bunch of work here for various parts of the implementation. And that's where things branched off. We've got some merge operations, and then back here what happened was, so here's a root that got merged into there, and here's another root that got merged into there. And what happened was, there's actually 3 of them here. So I started with a stub module, and then another stub module, another stub module, and another one, all of which got worked on independently in their own repos, and then I went and merged them all together so they're all in a single repository. And that's interesting. It's quite complicated, or at least it was for me, and I can't remember how you do it. How do you merge in a new root from a separate Git repository? I cannot remember how I did it. Merging 2 projects into one Git repository. There we go. Clone them. Right. Yes, you fetch them with, you merge them with unrelated histories, and so the unrelated histories means don't complain that they don't have the same root. So that's what you would do there, and you do it that way. So this is the guide to that. So that's how you would do it. It's not the most easy thing to do, and ending up with a history that has multiple repos can be a very, very confusing thing. But in this case, it meant that I could develop each part of it. In this case, it was there's a separate repository for font qualifiers that's written in Python, and I converted that repository into C, and that was one block of work. And I did some work on the font caret, and that was in one with a separate repository in Python, and I converted that into C. And I did the same for font menu creation. So there's another font menu one that was then converted into C. And then all those 3 repositories were multi-rooted into there and merged independently. So we merged the different repositories into one another, which finally made them all into this repository. There's a little bit more organization because you have to make sure that the files that you're merging in won't destroy everything else. But yeah, again, this is a quite advanced bit of Git work. So yeah, maybe sometime I'll do that in the future. But I don't tend to do general Git things in this. It's largely just trying to get Riscos up and running. So if you need to have a look at that, that's where you can have a look. I hope that's useful. Also, so the other thing I suggested was using submodules, and there's an example of doing that in, is it the icon rendering? Icon render there, that repository, that's the actions. I don't want that, I want the root. Yeah, so this has multiple submodules in it, and this repository is the thing that brings them all together to build stuff. So there's multiple ways you can do this. You could also just import the whole code base, just drop it in and use it, or you can have it all of these also use another repository, gcontext, but gcontext is built and exported. So it has a, yeah, I'll show it, it's easier. Lib, is it just called gcontext? Yeah, viscous gcontext there. So this has a release on it, and the release contains, in this archive, all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? All the libraries and headers and everything that would be needed, and then we import that, we download that file and we use it in the other place. It's a little bit messy, but that's how I've done it here. It means that you don't have to install things on your own machine, you can just have it pull things in. Anyway, that was a heck of a digression. I was in the midst of trying to do something. PS2 driver I'd just done. I was going back to mouse for the quadrature driver because we haven't put the README in there yet. Git add README. Add a simple It is complicated doing this sort of work, but yeah, you need to work out what you're trying to do, work out the right technology to use to bring it together, and how you want to do it. Because if you want other people to use it, you have to make it into something that's actually reusable. And there's many examples of this, both in Windows and in Linux and MacOS for that matter. MacOS frameworks are generally the way you do that, and Xcode handles a lot of that for you. And things like configure scripts on Linux will go and pull in the either pull in the necessary requirements or tell you haven't got them and where to get them from. So you need to build those as well. It's a lot of work. I did do some videos. So my video about building icon render explained how you how that particular repository was built together, because I built the previous different repositories. So yeah, if you're using AI, then you just tell the AI what you want, even put it into teaching mode, and it'll then tell you how to do things. Add a simple README file for the driver. But yeah, there's more specific sites and videos that people have produced that are better than I am at describing that stuff. We didn't say what this is. Briefly. There we are. Push that to there and push it to GitHub. And just check. We have a quadrature mouse, and did it pass? It did, didn't it? Yeah, it passed the last one, so it's going to pass with a README file. Just go back to PS2 driver. Leo says it's not a level of doing utilitarian for others, just personal tinkering. Just have a play then, particularly with the what do you call it? The what's the words I'm looking for? The teaching mode. It's quite useful. Viscos Tech says managed to get Claude CLI on Viscos to work that bridges through to the Mac for Anthropic. Well, fair enough. That's pretty neat. That's quite impressive. Yeah, cool. Publish it. It's always useful. I personally don't see the purpose in running AI systems on Viscos because it's just too unreliable for that. But each their own. PS2 driver, yep, that's there. And it passed. Good. Next one, Serial Mouse. Serial Mouse 2. Check out. Oh, yeah, we're up to date. Do the project thing. Need a new repository creating. New repository. Viscos serial mouse. Description. Very exciting. Get remote add. Serial mouse. There we are. And then we need to create a README file for Viscos. A C version of the Viscos. You've actually managed to create, so Viscos text says you'll publish it later, it's pretty cool. I used the template ASCII thing to create a WIMP app, and it was very neat. Did you actually create all the code with that as well? Because I've tried to teach it how to use Viscoslib, and yeah, I think it's only Viscoslib I've done. I did a little bit about Toolbox, but mostly Viscoslib, and I just haven't got much more out of doing that. So it would be interesting to know whether you've got apps. I mean, I've created apps that do clicks on icon bars, has an info file and things like that, and it was pretty ropey, but it did it. So it's not. It'd be interesting to see how well it did all the menus and everything. Nice. I mean, that's a huge success. I realise that it's not surprising it can build apps, but it is surprising it can build apps. It took me ages to get the bloody icon bar menu to appear in the right place. Icon bar icon appearing in the right place was just everything in the right place. No, sorry, Leo. I said I'm doing stuff on Viscos. If you want other things, go and find somebody else to do it. I'm sorry, I am not a general help person. Yes, so Viscos Tech said, can I ask it to get my training to bundle into a skill to send to you? Yes, absolutely. So what I recommend is once you've on a session where you've got things working, not where it's compacted, and where you've debugged it and things, go and tell it to build either a new skill or to update the existing skill with what it's learned, with particular focus to the things you've done. And what it'll do is it'll ask you whether you want it to create it as a a shadowed skill. You want it to create a shadowed skill, and then it'll be available to you on every other project you're doing, and you can send it on. If you have a look in the manual, it should tell you. If you have a look in the AI skills section, you'll find how it actually does that, and how you should use it. If the manual is not sufficient, then actually ask the AI how to do it, because the information that's in the skills and the manual should be enough for it to find the information on how to do it. Which is kind of fun. But yeah, you should be able to do that. I mean, feel free to drop me a line, email with things. Maybe at some point I'll do a workshop or something for people that are using AI, and we can just work through some particular problems like this sort of thing and see how we can do it. Because I think there's a lot we can actually do with this stuff, and I would like people to be able to produce skills. Even if it's not just skills, if it's you can always tell it like, you've learned a bunch of things about this. Make a list of all of the gotchas that have gone on and how they were solved, and where to find information in the future. And you can just have those in a markdown file that you can then pass to it in the future and go, this is a bunch of information. Use this to build something. Yeah. Sorry, where was I up to? README, I created add README. Are we up to? Oh, I need to go and edit the git add as well. All of those, and then the .row build as well, because I need to update this. Because again, we don't have any hardware. Although we do have a serial port. Oh, except it opens serial files. Yeah, this won't work. We don't have the serial. Does it use serial filing system or does it use serial op? I can't remember. Serial. I think it uses this. Yeah, it uses the serial filing system. Yeah. Yeah, because this is all using my Zytouch driver as the base. Cute. Yeah, we only claim it when actually there's. Nice code. Not terrible. It certainly would, but so Leo's asked a video on the topic would help a lot of folks. It might help a lot of folks, but as I say, I focus on viscous things, and this is not a. I've done videos on merging different libraries and the like, so feel free to go and have a look at those. Sorry to be dismissive, but I like to keep myself on topic when I'm trying to do things. Add CI and something else. CI and issues, PR templates, and bits to make it publishable on GitHub. Push. That'll go there, and then we've got to push it to GitHub as well. And that'll take it over here. So we can load this. Discuss. Yep. No deployments, no packages. Save. So the other thing that I did recently, because I've done many things recently, is I built an ORAS tool. ORAS is OCI repositories as storage, which won't mean very much to many people, but OCI repositories are Docker repositories. And Docker repositories can have tagged versions, you can do enumeration of the files on them, you can do locking of things, you can link different resources together. It's a quite structured and very, very clever repository, which is very handy. It's particularly handy if you've got a set of resources that are not Python, Node, Ruby, or any of the other many different package systems that have their own repositories out there, and you want to store them in there in something. So previously, or currently in fact, I'm using Artifactory for my storage. Other people have used other systems, but there are various package managers you can use in GitLab and in GitHub. But the package management systems are largely based around using those systems, the Python, the nodes, those sorts of things. So the packages I just turned off there. Just turn them back on again. Can I see them? I think I can, can't I? So I turn up on here, yeah, packages. So you can go to packages here and you can publish things and then make them available. But a lot of them are based on those sorts of things. And it's not, you don't want to be reliant on GitHub, but a Docker repository is really easy to just deploy. Docker registry, sorry, is really easy to deploy. And you can do that. And then you can just push anything in. So in theory, we can go and push in all of the Riscos components. So you have a repository that has, for example, the basic module with each of its versions listed. So you can have all the versions pushed up there, and you can just download the module, or download the specific one. Or you could have them tagged, but also with different versions inside that. So you could have, maybe not for basic, let's take an example of I can't think of a USB device. So you can have a USB controller that is for a particular piece of hardware, and that particular piece of hardware can be a sub file within it. So you have the main tagged version that has multiple drivers, and you can get just the one you want. that's where I'm thinking about things like that. I don't know if it's the right choice, but there is an ORAS tool which has been tested and seems to work. All right, it broke. Oh, because I haven't got the JSON libraries and things. If you get CJSON and the other bits and pieces, it does work. I just haven't published those components yet. So yeah, that's something I've been working towards. Let me turn packages back off on there. Sorry, complete distraction there. I told you I'm a little bit all over the place at the moment. Serial mouse. What was the next one after serial mouse? Oh, sorry, I need to go and put this in here as well. So I've actually got myself marked on that. Oops. There we are. International. I had an international module I created as well, didn't I? Internet/international 2. So I'll do that one next. I realise this is not the most exciting of sessions, but hopefully the additional chatter is useful. That's being very slow. Why are you being slow? Oh, it's doing status on everything. Oh, submodule update init for just this folder. Thank you very much. Have we published message trans 2? I don't think we have yet, have we? No, it doesn't match anything. That could be just that I've not. Can we do repo user Gerph? Excuse me. No, looks like it's not published. Oh, let's do that one then. What the heck? Let's do international 2 first. So that's, we're on a roll with this now. Check out master. Yeah, like the others, this hasn't got very much else. We've got some tests though. Ooh, look at that. Actual tests in there. Isn't it cool? It's nice when we actually have tests and things. Viscos project. There we go. Add a whole bunch of things. Go read me. Right, let's have a look at row build. Look down here, we've got build module is international. Well, now we have some tests as well. So our tests are, what's the test? Test service, isn't it? Test service. Test service. All of those. Add CI issue / PR templates. What's the other one? Oh, I've already forgotten. Code owners and licenses. License. What's it called? GitHub. Remote add. Sorry, just annoying me. It's called International Bright Young Thing by Jesus Jones. Okay, that's why it's in my head. I do not even think I have that in my music collection. It's been years since I've heard it. Anyway, it's stuck in my head. Amazing how things stick in your head. Frustrating how things stick in your head. I wanted a new repository. International. Git push GitHub. And then up here, please. No deployments, no packages, just Riscos. Dum. Yeah, there we go. Let's see whether the actions work, shall we? Yep, all worked. Look at the logs and we can see. Smoke test passed. Woo! Nice when you got tests. Some things you can test, some things you can't easily test. So yeah, but that one works. So that's international done. Let's grab the URL for that. Come on. Oh, what happened there? Copy. International keyboard. All right then. Find international. There it is. Oh, I've got status on here, and I should be filling those in. Status is functional. Oh, actually, that's another interesting thing. So if we just, I could also build this, can't I? Ammo and Riscos ammo. There we go, built for 32-bit. Building for 64-bit now. Very slowly. I'm really not sure how the best way is to handle that. I don't know. A little bit frustrating. I wonder if... not sure. Right, that built. So Riscos. Let's run it on the build server. Command is so I want to send the files. So send the file rm32/international2. Command rmload international2. Oh, and I also want to send tests. Test service, and then run test service. Right. So this is basically duplicating what had been done in the CI, and we should get the same result. International passed. Okay, now repeat the process for 64-bit, and we'll see what we get. Minus 64. Come on. Have you crashed? Oh dear. That doesn't seem quite as good, does it? Okay, so maybe it doesn't work on 64-bit. That's interesting it didn't work on 64-bit. Let's just echo loaded. Okay, so it did load, but test service failed. That's interesting. So it's not functional on 64-bit. There's probably some types in there that have been done wrongly. That's fine, we can sort that out, but interesting to know. So we've only got as far as it being internals. It hasn't actually got a working version yet. But that's nice. That's good to know. I'm going to mark these as internals on the 32-bit, and on the 64-bit, well, it exists, but it's not going to actually run. That's the wrong one. That's not the module I wanted, is it? What I wanted was mouse and those ones there, because we can't. I haven't actually tested those on anything. They may not actually work. Okay, that's at least something. Right, what's the other one? So that was international I did. I was going to do message trans as well, wasn't I? Oh, hang on. Everything up to date? Yeah, push it to GitLab as well. Message trans 2. Now, we've got lots of bits in here. Oh gosh. Are we doing anything mad? Ooh, that's not what I want to do. Stop it. I wanted to pick up the top of the window, please. There we go, that's better. That all looks like the normal build. Ah, but we've got a test stage here that does things differently and runs make tests. Interesting. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be lazy with this. I'm going to do project thing, right? So we're going to do that. This is going to then overwrite some files, and what we'll do is we'll then go and look at them and see what's wrong with them. Just running Riscos projects taking a while. I think that's because it's just the starting up the environment's taking a while. I may need to look at optimizing that a bit. Right, so now we've got a bunch of files changed. We can let's do a diff on these. So we want to do the we've actually got a GitHub workflow in there as well. I've actually got a GitHub workflow in there. Oh, but it looks like it's just a skeleton one. It does just look like it's a skeleton workflow. Diff tool. You're going to flip monitors now, aren't you? Yeah, you're flipping monitors. Thank you very much. There we are. And then move this over to here. Thank you very much. Okay, so that looks good. That looks just fine to me. That's all bog standard stuff, so that's fine. I think we can just leave it at doing that. Yeah, that's fine as well. This is the bit that's a bit different. So we want to keep the 300 seconds because it may take that long. Copy the file as message trans. Yeah, we'll do that. And then archive it as message trans. And then we want to keep the tests one as well. But we do want to do the, so here it's using version 7, good. And then kick in the tests as well, please. Hang on, did I just lose everything on that? Let me just undo everything. I think I just did the wrong thing there. Oh no, that was right. That was right. I apologise. Yeah. So what I want is all of this lot needs to be migrated also into the other, the GitHub side of it as well. Oh, look, this is actually quite a nicely structured file it's built here. But what we've actually got here is build the makefile test code. Well, let's just copy it over, since we want to be able to do that. So that runs the test, then the wildcard tests. So we want to do all of these. We've got exports, yeah, that's fine. We actually need to do that. There's our tests. So let's go. Tests. It's not makefile test, it's message file test code. Except I've just gone and changed the wrong bit. Oh, let's just undo that. I did the wrong thing. There we go. Right. The bit that does the exports, leave that alone. Sorry, Andrew. Yes, it's live coding today. Apologies. I've been unreliable because I've been so exhausted of late. Sent me as in hang on a second. Are you okay with it being published, Martin? Yeah. Share to Mooncake. Sometimes AirDrop is really reliable. Oh, there we go. Got it. Finder. There it goes. It popped up over here. You stupid thing. You've sent me a bloody... Sorry, not you. It sent me a Discord link. I wanted to send the picture. Save. Sorry, separation of concerns. I don't want to have the things that are. When it first arrived, it was atrocious, and Spanners are just saying it never worked for him. Yeah, I could not get the blooming thing working. And if you've got different versions of macOS and iPhone, like, you can find it to be incredibly unhelpful. But oh, come on. I don't get this. Why is this not recent? That's what I want to be. Right. So this image, share to Mooncake. Sending. I don't know what it's actually. Oh, it is sending. It got a little thingy. There we go. Receiving. Popped up. Ta-da! There you go. So just to be clear, this is actually built, that the application itself was built with AI as well. I mean, that, because if that's the case, that's pretty freaking awesome. I have a markdown renderer as well, obviously as part of my presenter tool. That is quite awesome, to be honest. I'm quite taken with that. The other thing I want to ask is, go on, how much memory? Because I was saying, dear God, it uses a lot of memory. I like this. I like this. It MacOS recognizes all the text and can copy it out. How cool is that? Sorry. Big MacOS advocate myself, I'm sorry. Really love things like that. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. It's going to be very nice when we get all this working together. Plus, different people, about 64k, 640k. That is awesome. Although that might just be the default WIMP slot it ends up using. I'll be really interested to see how that can work. That's kind of cool. Yes, Rob Andrews only uses macOS. Yeah, I use lots of systems, but macOS is my driver for many things. I mean, that's not surprising. Having to get the TLS stuff up and running. So, to be clear, Riscos Pyromaniac has a built-in URL fetcher as well, so it can communicate over AconSL over the URLs, but it doesn't have some of the modern updates to it because I don't know what's happened with the protocols. Are you actually talking directly with AconSL, or are you using the URL fetcher? You're probably using AconSL directly, and so it won't be supported, I guess. I'll need to understand how AconSL works and rebuild a module for that, because yeah, don't have that. That worked good. Right, that's the bit I didn't want to. That's the bit I edited last time. Oh no, it isn't. This is the bit. Yeah, I didn't copy it. Right, okay. I know what I'm doing. Build the tests and run. It's not a make file, it's a message file test. Just try and keep these messages to the same style. Don't press random buttons. Run test for makefile token lookup. And then this one is run test file token enumeration. Build wildcard test code. Run test for wildcards. Boom, boom, boom. And then we go into building the module. ROM modules, message trans 2. Did we have any tests for actually whilst it was running? No, we didn't. And then we just go into the artifacts directory. Cool. I think that actually is pretty correct. Looks okay to me anyway. Let's have a see. Yeah, let's have a see. Pull that down there, please. Don't need it. Spanner says Riscos International ought to be our next Eurovision entry. It's coming up to break time. I'm going to try and get this bit done, and then I'll take a break and we'll come back after that and do some more. What am I doing? Yes, we've got a load of things we've added here, so lots of bits here. Looks like it should work. Yeah, those two are not bad. Okay, fine. It'll do the right thing. We'll just give it a whirl and see what happens. Add a new component, new repository. Riscos message trans for Riscos. my brain doesn't like reusing terms, so it constantly goes and makes me write different messages and everything. It's not very nice like that. Git add, I've already done the add. Remote, isn't it? That one there. This is Riscos. Message trans. Oh, except we didn't. We've got the actual tests. There's a different set of tests it runs. Lab. Yeah, those two. Oh, let's put it down here. Up here, please. Thank you. Right, so the bit we've got that's new is this section here that does. Unzip the archive, create a directory, rename the file, and then run the tests. Ambulance is going by. Don't we already do this in something? I'm sure I do this in something already. Oh, let me have a quick look. Your repositories. Oh, maybe NetStatus is, because NetStatus does have some tests with it. Oh, I could put my funding things in there to try and get people to sponsor me as well. That would be useful. No, that one doesn't have the tests. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh, this is cunning. Right. Open a new terminal, please. Right, you may have seen the icon bar things that I did. Now, the icon bar open source things. So we have a look in projects, GitHub topic updates here. We've got some magic scripts that do stuff, all very clever and all that. But as a side effect of all of this, we end up with all of the repositories checked out and cloned. Which is kind of fun, which also means that I can then just grep all of my repositories in one place for test colon in star/github/workflows/ci.star. There we go. That's where I've got some of them. Oh, all right, that didn't. Oh, okay. Let me just look for test, not latest. That doesn't help me. Get rid of the word latest. Oh, sorry, not grep for, grep without. Invert. Kernel introspection. Oh, that does it. Yeah, kernel introspection does it there. But I don't think it does it in a separate block. I'm sure I did something in a separate block. Test plan 23. Let's see. Debugger, see. Let's have a look at that one. Let's have a see what that's got in it. No, it doesn't have a different block. It's all in the same section. Maybe I should just do it in the same section then. Well, that's not the end of the world. It would make it easier. I'll do it that way. It's not terrible. I can just make it, just copy it and paste it into the one. So if we do, this is the actual test block. So what I want to do here is, before we start archiving stuff, that's the build. That's the archive. Actually, after we do the archive, sorry. Run tests, paste, run colon. It's slightly different format because, of course, it is. Unzip message trans start. Mukta RM32. Actually, it's not going to put it in the RM32. Oh, it's already in the RM32 directory, isn't it? So it's actually, we want to do this like that. These shouldn't have hyphens on them. Because of how we've restructured the directories, we don't actually have a. It's already in the RM32 directory. Okay, save both of those. Add CI issues / PR templates. What else? And others. Again. Don't know where that came from. Push to GitHub. Have a look at it. Update this. It's a viscose thing. No deployments, no packages. Bum, bum, bum. Now, it's quite possible that this just won't work. So it'd be nice to have a separate section here. It's the test viscose that actually does that, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Kill. I've got the row build wrong. I missed one. This is where having the file name and the module name different is the problem. There we go. Didn't work. What did we fail on? Oh, we failed on that. Yeah, sorry, I was going to reload it. I did push it. Yes, I did. Sorry, getting distracted. Oh, come on. I want to go and get myself a drink. Have I just edited the wrong blooming file? Wrong wing section? Yes, I've edited the wrong thing. I'm load 2, but kill message chance. I hope that for other people, this is actually being helpful in people understanding how to use Git and how to work with GitHub and do various things. I'm hoping that it's useful. I mean, that's part of why I'm doing it. Come on. Nope, failed again. Oh no, it was successful. The running tests failed. Cannot find or open message transit. What? So we didn't create the zip archive properly. What? I thought we... Build through viscose online. So we built that. That's there. And that returned it. And then this bit went and did a rename, didn't it? And it should have renamed it to component name version. What's component name? So now we're looking at, pull this up in an editor, it'll be a bit easier. Now we're in this bit and we're looking in here. Component name is message trans. Component name is message trans. So there are tools called Act, which will do the GitHub actions, but on your local machine. However, I haven't got around to doing it, so yeah, not a particularly not worthwhile, as productive, particularly as I can just throw it up to GitHub and see it working or failing. Okay, so it created it, replaced like, oh, maybe we should create it in a different directory. Maybe that's what I should do. And then create it in a different directory and then move it out. That's a good idea. Dave says, I thought the cam froze, but Gerph himself just froze. Yes, I was just I was trying to do the oh, what's it called? Police Squad ending scenes. Such good times. Right, I was going to say I was going to put it in a different directory, wasn't I? So let's go and do that. So mkdir extract cd extract, then unzip the archive that's there, and then move it. And just create the directory in mkdir -p /rm32/message no rm2, and then cd dot. I imagine I'll going to update this in the other file as well, won't I? In the GitLab one as well, since it'll need to have the same style. Can I just do that? Yeah, that works. Then do that, and then pull these in one more. There we go. Something like that anyway. Git commit, there we go, do that. You can turn off glass mode? Oh, gosh, for that. I'm not sure my laptop will upgrade. I think I'm on the last version. My work one would, but my home machine is just so old. Oh, one update available. I bet it's an Xcode update. There's always an Xcode update. Come on, show me the update. I've got, yeah, an updated Tahoe, and that's it. I think that's my last version. So not going to have that. Well, I will update to that, but I'm not going to get the new stuff. Yeah, I updated this, so I just need to go and check it again, see whether we're working. We're not working. Cannot stat. RM32 message track. Look, it's right there. Look, you just extracted it. Other file. Right. Look to extract. We unzipped it because we can see it doing it there. Then we see it do this. Oh! Except it is called message trans 2 at this point. So the reason for keeping the 2s on the end is so that when we've, well, if you try and build them alongside the assembly versions, you don't have one overwriting the other. That's the idea anyway. And then I can eventually put it into my full build and everything will just work. Yeah, that's the hope anyway. Oh, come on. This was meant to be an easy thing. Oh, just publish message trans. It'll be dead easy. Well, actually, it's published. It's just not building. Oh, look at that. We're running. We're running. We got errors. It's really not working. Oh dear. Oh, that's irritating, isn't it? That CP doesn't seem right. Oh yes, it is right. Yeah, that's error message. I think it's failing to find the files and it's hiding this message, which is rather frustrating. Oh dear. Right, so this is the command it's trying to run here. This got sound. Build it. Hang on, so that built something called message trans 2. We put it in there called message trans 2, then it'll be easier for me to test. Put it in here. Again, the same one here. Maybe this should all be in a script file, so I can just, rather than duplicating it, I can just share the code. But let's see. So it's literally just running make tests. That's all I need to do. So if I run make tests here, oh no, C tests code make tests. Sorry. Reproducible problem. Reproducible problem. Woohoo! Excellent. So since we've got a reproducible thing, let's see whether we can just quickly show what that error message is by changing the replacements. Just get rid of that one for now and just run one of them. Come on. File message trans not found. Well, yes, that's true. Is it run on build service that does that? We don't try and kill it, so that's okay. Right, try it now. File message trans 2 not found. I've got 3 S's in message trans. That's not my fault from here. This is when I've converted the test code, I've broken it. Huh. That doesn't seem right. Quiet isn't in there. I want you to be noisy. To tell me what you're doing. If it's got quiet on the command line, then do that. Oh, force quiet to be false. Do it again. It seems like turning the quiet off has caused it to fail worse. And now it's not doing anything, and I'm getting spinnies. And it's decided to turn on. I don't understand. There we go. Right, that's more like what I was expecting. Right. Unload message trans 2. Message trans 2 not found. Because it's not called message trans 2 in this folder. Module is message trans. Oh. Module is message trans 2. Seriously, I've made myself more problems by renaming the blooming thing. Success! Yeah, that's working. It's printing out the messages I'm expecting. So now I can go and turn the whatever that is, build service, quiet off again. So we are called message trans 2 throughout with only two. Oh, and we need to remove the error replacements as well, don't we? Test code, sorry, expect. Put that back on again. Just run it and see that we're getting something that looks sane. And if it looks sane, I can go and push it. It's looking sane, okay. That one there, please. Do it again. I think whether this works or not, I'm going to go and get myself a drink in a minute and we'll then come back. Martin, you mentioned using Acorn SSL. I don't remember there ever being any documentation for how Acorn SSL worked. I just don't remember there ever being docs for it. Have some been produced now, or is it just like you have to guess? I can look at the logs whilst it's working, can't I? Look, okay, it's working. Was resurrected a few years ago. Yeah. Oh, gitlab.riscosopen.org. Explore. It'll be in Riscos. Sources, network, URL. Come on, where's the URL fetchers? Fetchers, sorry. Acorn SSL. Doc. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so not terrible, but not brilliant docs. I mean, they're not like anything special. Let's do something about that, shall we? A new window, please. Oh. CD. So CD. Where am I going? External, isn't it? Because this is not some of my code. Clone. There. Thank you very much. Acorn SSL. Nope. Just check everything. Got everything. Yeah, good. That doc is out of date. It's added. So does that mean that the implementation is different, or that I should be on a different branch? Because that's the only branch we've got there, master. Or is it just the documentation that's out of date? I mean, that absolutely should be a part of the review process, should be making sure you've got documentation up to date. If you don't have the documentation up to date, then it's just... Ugh. That's my own rant. License, just check. Fair enough. Well, that's foolish of them. Right, okay, Claude. Please make me some in XML documentation from the sources and documentation this repository, focusing on the user interfaces and how to fetch content. I'll just do it as user interfaces, that'll be fine. Write the file into POM in XML /SSL.xml. Thank you, get on with that. We'll leave that running in the background. Right, where did my tests get to? They got to passing! Woohoo! Look at that. Message trans. Now built. Whee! Okay. Now if I go and push it to my branch, it should hopefully work. Right, I'm going to go and get some thing to drink. Just have a short break, and then we'll see where that got to. Oh, ouch. All right. Yeah, I'll be back in 10 minutes or so. Just going to have a break, drink things, and then we'll come back and we'll continue with the other bits. Hopefully it'll be a bit easier than the message trans, but we've done like 5 modules or so far, so we'll be adding some more. All right, see you in a little bit. Shall I leave that on the screen, or shall we I'll leave it on the screen. What the heck, doesn't hurt, does it? All right, so no thingy in a minute. Back in 10 minutes. Hello again, I'm back. Oh. Ugh. Right, I'm feeling very, very all over the place at the minute. So we're going to be just try and get some bits done, and then I might call it a day early. There was some discussion there saying about different versions of it. So there's 0.09 there, 1.09. Don't think that's a problem, is it? I'm assuming that they're the same version. Not because you don't tend to like create a separate branch for those tags. I want to go back to the top, don't I? Well, they shouldn't. So the library that's being used should be independent. So that Andrew said that the version numbers don't change when embed TLS does. I mean, unless it's just a library that is exposing embed TLS, in which case it should be called embed TLS. It shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, regardless, we have a thing. I did not give it a definition block to configure session, but absent from the SWI table, since it isn't actually implemented. Well, that's kind of fun. Certificate confirmation dialog. Why is it? No, oh, fuck's sake. There should be no interfaces into the WIMP for a SSL access, because otherwise you can't use it without the WIMP. That's rather stupid. They should be separate components. Well, so Andrew says it becomes which version of 1.09 is it? Well, it shouldn't be, because it should be 1.09 that has one version in it, and then there should be 1.10 that has the next version in it. You increment the version when the backend library changes. So Andrew says accepting certificates opens a window. Yeah, but that's an application problem, not a SSL communication problem. SSL communication should be the certificate is not valid, please wait, and then the application should display something, and then tell the SSL module, yes, you can accept that. That's the way it should work. There should be no, you should not have anything to do with the WIMP inside an interface module. And that's necessary because you may not be running in the window manager. You may not be running there at all. You may be running inside a task window that's actually being run remotely from somewhere else. It should always be accessed independently. So whoever's done that has not understand the separation of concerns there. Sorry, I apologise. I make this argument many, many times when people are discussing things like that. Anyway, the I mean, we've got different things here for other parts, but so Andrew says, do we want to have the app worrying about certificate acceptance UI? Yes, we should, because it's the app's decision about how to handle that. There may be a standard interface to be able to do that. So there may be another one that is certificate management that is able to do that for you. For example, that could be a toolbox object, and you just pass it on to that handling. But you don't, because, for example, an application that is built for Riscos may want to do it one way, but an application that's been built for something else may want to actually have that communication of what to do, because it wants to display its own style of dialogue, or it wants to do something about it, like going, oh, I'll go and check the certificates elsewhere. It may want to go and check DNS to see whether there's some special way of handling it, because there have been various ways of being able to handle certificates in the past. So you should be able to handle it in different ways, because that's the user's choice. Interface modules, one should do the interface. Desktop presentation is a different concern, different library. that's how you should always try and split those things. Trying to put the two together ties you to a particular design, and makes it impossible for you to work against that design, which may be something you want to do. When it all comes down to, when designing an operating system, you're trying to make things available to people, not to tell them how to do things. So by forcing them to use the desktop, by forcing them to use your dialogue, you're forcing them into a particular path. That's not the right way of doing it. You should be allowing them the ability to do things certain ways. Anyway, I rant over. We have documentation. So let us have see what it looks like, shall we? Open dot. Oh, I didn't build it. No, I don't want to go into an XML editor. I want to go. Did it get built somewhere? Did it tell me it built it somewhere? That's annoying. As Andrew says, it would be weird to not be able to use it for command line tools. You'd think it would, but maybe not. So the simple answer is, what happens when you use what's it called? I forgot its blooming name. Git. When you use Git at the command line and it needs to accept a certificate, because Git doesn't have any WIMP components, or shouldn't have any Git WIMP components, and that's the thing that that would do it. So XML. Sorry, I guess I was a little bit more effusive. Vocal. I'll go with vocal there because I can pronounce it. I want to go and convert this. How do you use the thing? I don't know. Oh God. Let's go shell. God. Make me a HTML version of the PRM in XML docs as I'm not feeling very well. I realized I made a mistake, and it's made me a little bit all over the place, as I may have said. And so I'm just asking to get on with it and do it. It's a really useful use of things. Go and send a message over to the States to do huge amount of processing, and then come back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and finally it gives me a command that I should have known how to use. There we go, that's the command I wanted. Thank you, that's what I wanted. Copy, paste. All right, there we are. That looks pretty good. Bump the size up. Not bad documentation. I mean, yeah, probably could do with a bit more. Even got a little description there on it. Cool. All right, well, that's something I can have a look at later. Oh, no. Not something we can look at later. Let's go and do something about it, because that's the point of the session today. I should be slightly less manic, I suppose, but it's not a big deal. Right, so new terminal, please. /projects Riscos, Riscos staging. There we are. Source. I guess this is an Acorn document. Nukta Acorn SSL. Copy tilde slash dot. No, external. Null. Acorn SSL. I had strange dreams last night, and now that I know what was up, it does make a lot more sense what was going on. But oh no, I've opened the wrong directory. That's not where I want to be. I want to be up, up, up. There we are. I had very, very strange dreams. Really, I don't mind strange dreams. They're quite fun, but they do leave you afterwards going, oh. Right. So Acorn documentation. Actually, not a functional spec. Actually, it's a it's a Riscos 5 document. Sorry, I'll move it in there. Okay, let's just do that. So this is Acorn SSL. Oh, come on. There we are. We'll move it to the right place now. Move source Acorn SSL to source Riscos 5. Add source Riscos 5. That's it. Status. Commit Rose. Alright. Create new Acorn SSL documentation from the sources. Created from, let's actually include a reference to the ding at ding push. There we go. Now if we go back over here, not over here, no, let's just do a open on that. Oh no, that's gone to the wrong place. That's gone to my internal one. Fetch all. Oh, is that automatically synced to GitHub? That's cool. That's not the right URL. Git remote. Riscos, Pierre. Of course it's Riscos, because I try and prefix everything so we don't get too confused. System it's used for. There we go. So, it didn't work. It failed. What did it fail on? No rule to make. Oh, well, that was dumb. I put it in the wrong place. I'll just move it then. Git cd source cd Riscos 5. Ah, right. Okay, so they're not actually in Acorn SSL. That's better. Right, commit -mend and git push to there. Oh. push find F, and push it to GitHub as well, so we get both of them. So that one was automatically doing synchronization, so as soon as it pushed it to my local server, it also ended up on the live one. How long does this usually take? 1 minute and 19 seconds. That's not too bad. Not too bad. So the best thing is, when related to the forums and social responses and the like, is to take the people that are being serious, take the general comments from everybody else, and walk away and have a nice restful time. Don't get too stressed about it. And I realise this is rather ironic, my saying that, but it does really help just to take a step back and just, yeah, I can do my thing. But feel free to communicate things to other people, because there are people who are interested in stuff. Oh, which reminds me, I'm intending on doing a 64-bit status update shortly. So if anybody is working on 64-bit and wants to include something in the 64-bit update for what they're doing, I mean, you've seen the posts that I do. Just drop me a line with what you're doing. I'll drop Piers an email later and just see if he's done anything, because he hasn't said much recently. I'm assuming life got busy again. Ooh, documentation was finished, which means that if we go to the pages, let me just paste that down here so people can see it. You can see I don't like this. I don't like expanding everything. Oh, it hasn't expanded it. Why has it not done that? Why you no do that? You should have expanded that in there. Did I not? Is there something else I need to do to make it publish? There's something else I need to do to make it publish. This job was okay. Let me see. Why? I no longer know how to work this. Do I need to tag it with a version number or something? Does it tell me in here? Docker, GitHub, workflows, CI. Publish. If it's only if it's got a version number on it. Okay, so let's give it a version number. Let's. It's just like publishing anything else, I suppose. Okay, so we put a new version on there. Oh, we give it a date on it. Okay, that's fine. So if I look in releases here, I should see a version. Oh, okay, that's, yeah. Oh, draft. Where is that draft? That's frustrating. I should have published that. Did I not? Oh. Well, fine. It's published now. Fine. Okay. Oh, I need to write a lot of stuff to say what's in it. Fine. We'll just quickly do that. Okay. Git tag v2026 even 0719. Okay. Diff to then. Let me just have a quick note of the things that have changed. Changes. Okay. You can go at the bottom. Right, so we've got templates, no big deal, no big deal, no big deal. Updated things there, no big deal, no big deal. We now support a later version of that. So, Acorn SSL has been added. Oh, hang on, I can do name only, can't I? Diff name only. There we go. Oh, it's only Acorn SSL that's been added. Fine, that's no good. That's very good, sorry, not no good. So if I go here, edit the release that happened in oh, what now? It's draft again. Publish. I don't understand. Right, okay. So that's what happened for that release. 26, 07, 18. Acorn SSL. And since that was 09, 04. Edition of Acorn SSL documentation. Okay. So now git tag I've already tagged it. Git push v to origin v 2026 007 8. And I want to also push it to GitHub. There we go. So that one got pushed a minute ago. That's weird, isn't it? I wonder if that was the automatic synchronization did something with that, because that shouldn't have. I don't know why that did it. That's very odd. I'd rather it didn't, because it seems to have pushed it twice. I wonder if there's a way to stop it from doing that. It's definitely a GitLab synchronization issue that I need to sort out. I really need to upgrade my GitLab server as well, but it's a lot of work. Right, this should take about 1 minute or so to build. 1 minute 20 it looks like. Oh, there we go. It's doing its publish and release now. Excellent. We go to here. Right. That release can go because that was garbage. See, it's built it as a this as with that tag. It's changed the tag again. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not really understanding that. Must be something wrong with that. But this is the new one. So here we go. Let's edit this. Snooze. Copy. Fix that because it's now it's the 19th and I got the date wrong. Copy. Paste. Oh, they had different labels, didn't they? So if I just go and save draft again. good. And then go back to releases. I can see what the title should be. So it should be release and then the date. There's another one there. Okay, have a look at that. We should see that it's now released, and the world should now be able to see, if you go to here, into here, that we have, where's Viscos 5? Oh, come on! There we are, thank you. It was there. Acorn SSL module. Public documentation. How's that? Aside from the odd issues of my not being able to build things properly, building the documentation was writing one line and telling it to look at the source code and the docs that were already there. There was nothing else that was needed from me to put things into that. It hasn't done that very nicely there. We need to sort that out, but that can be another thing for another day. But it seems to have done pretty nicely. It should have done descriptions of the address structure elsewhere and things like that, but it is basically the same to Socket Connect, which it hasn't got a similar use to. But yeah, that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I think it looks pretty nice anyway. Yeah, it does look pretty nice, that. I mean, although they're analogous to, I think it would be very nice if it could expand on the text there. See, version, this sort of thing, is where you should have an extra value here that says what the base library is, and maybe what the base library name is as well. Slightly weird indent where R1 is further right than 0 and 2. Yeah, that's because the digits on this are not monospaced. It's quite frustrating, but it's at some point I want to find a better font for this, but this is using, what are we using? I don't know. Is this France's? I think it's France's. Computed. Yeah, France's. So if somebody wants to find another font, so France's is a Git, not Git, Google. It's meant to be a similar font to what you would see used with in place of Nouveris. It could be an option, and we need to have a look at it. What we got here: optimal size, softness, weight, regulars, softness. That doesn't include anything else, does it? Super soft. I don't know what super soft. Does that change anything? That changed very slightly. Not quite sure what that did. Oh yeah, I see. It's a little bit more roundy, and yeah, I get it. Ampersand is quite weird, but yeah. Anyway, so fixed switches with digits by default and opt in for variable. Yeah, that's what I would have expected, but I'd say this looks a bit odd. Also, I don't like the 8 either. The 8 looks like it's upside down. Just looks wrong, because the bulbous part should be at the bottom. Go away, I don't want a break. I've had my break. So we just want a different font that does that in a good way. Dave, you're one of the better people for knowing font stuff. If you can find a nice open source font that we can pull in, that is hopefully a web font as well, that would really help to make that nicer. It would, yeah, just make it a bit better. Wonky. Oh, hang on, is it the wonky? Do we need to put the wonky in to make it? No, that one still looks like it's not changed the spacing. No, it's not changed the spacing at all. Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm not hugely wedded to it. It was a good font at the time. And I particularly don't like that indentation thing. Bit weird. Right. There we had a small distraction by looking at the documentation. What were we doing before that? I can't remember. Didn't save that. Message trans. We got message trans working, didn't we? Message trans was published. Oh, come on. Is it called message trans then? There it is, right, okay. Oh, and the other bit I was doing was, move that right back to here, trying to see whether it worked on my server. So if I open this, go here, because I've obviously got GitLab running on there, and apparently it passed. So all of the fixes that I did also worked on GitLab. Well, that was fortunate. Is there anything else in here we need to look at? No. Territory. So I believe that Martin, you've done territory, and I need to pull that into the testing. Yeah, I just need to get to the point where I can actually do that. I've not had a chance to look at it yet. Was there anything else I was doing? There was definitely something else I remember looking at. Or should we call it a day? Ah, yes, we should probably call it a day, actually, come to think of it, because it is now 10 to. Video render. Is there anything else in here that I've done? Convert clear. Sprite util. Yeah, sprite util is another thing, isn't it? Don't think we've gone and got that. Close that. Not there. There. User Gerph. I think. Yeah, we haven't got a sprite util. Okay, let's go do that. Actually, no. What we will do is we'll go and finish off the Riscos status stuff. So I'd just done international, and there was message trans as well. So let's go do that here. Source. Message trans is not listed there. Oh, there it is. There we go, message trans. I've got a note on message trans actually. What's it say? Missing dictionary calls. Yeah, fair enough. I've just got, but mostly. Oh yeah, the dictionary calls are what causes something else to fail, if I remember rightly. Yeah. No, not that one. This one here. Oh, I could have moved the other modules in as well. Yeah, not a big deal. We'll leave that for later. Updated components from international Mouse PS2 driver Mouse. Message trans. Was that all of them? I think that's all of them we did. So we didn't actually do much else. There's a nice one called Typey McTypeface. Sadly, I have no idea if you're actually telling the truth or you're just winding me up with that. Because it seems like it could actually be a real... It is a real thing. It is a real thing. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's actually quite nice. I actually quite like that. I wonder if... What's it say for license? Okay. Oh, if I'll... Yeah, okay, so that's actually fine. Well, that'll be something I'll have to have a look at. All right. Oh, that didn't push. Oh, do I need to pull first? I need to pull first. Ooh. What happened in the meantime? Yeah, that was Riscos Tech doing his things. Okay, fine, let's go push that. And all being well, it should go live. Where's Riscos 64 status? That's this one here. So a few of these modules have gone live. And then we should also be able to have a new updated status. Where do we get to with actions? Oh, there's also this discussions board here that I set up. Oh, somebody left a comment. Why didn't I see? I can't see any messages on that. That would be good. Because a discussions board that you don't get notified about is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Is there a watch button? I don't know how these things work. I don't know who that is. Might be just general spam, but yeah, it doesn't look like they're a Riscosy person. But certainly they're coming from the right direction. Right, anyway, testing the binaries is going to run for a while, but wiki update should be reasonably quick, I hope. Ooh, it's generating lots of documents. That's going to take a while then. Well, in any case, that's good. Okay, so yeah, we basically today done update a number of the components in my own repositories and publish them out to GitHub. So 2 or 3 of them. We've updated the Riscos 64 status to show the current status of things. And we've also generated the Acorn SSL documentation and published it into the staging area. All of which is pretty good. I think that's quite a productive day there. Yeah, Andrew said you vaguely remember the question like the like that one from a few months back. That does seem right. It's entirely possible that that's where they posted it. But again, I'm a little bit. It's not helpful if it doesn't notify you of stuff. Maybe there's just another option I need to set. but I don't know. Yeah, I think we've done quite well there. So earlier on, I was also asking the question about whether I should create a RISCOS-64 organisation, and then we can grant loads of people access to it, or, well, whatever people need to have access to it, and they can put their repositories in there to basically collect them all together and be able to run them. That would then mean it would be a little bit easier for things to work with, but only a little. We could still do it just as easily if people wanted to leave them in their own accounts. I'm thinking that this could be a good idea, but I'm also, is it worth it? Is it even a thing we want to do? So yeah, Martin Riscos Tech suggests it's a good idea, because the other possibilities we're going to spin up a whole new server to run a GitLab in there, and why bother? There's no point when everything can be built. Everything should be able to be built on GitHub, because we've got the tooling. Because somebody spent blooming ages trying to make sure we have. That's the idea, anyway. I think that's everything. I think that's everything I wanted to sort of talk about today. There was the other thing that I sort of mentioned earlier was about the possibility of doing AI agents show and tells or workshops or whatever, with relation specifically to working with Riscos, and with people sharing their screens to show what they're doing and how they're doing it and explaining things. Because obviously I've got pretty reasonable amount of experience with doing that now, but it would be interesting to get Andy Timmins into that as well, because he's also obviously been doing quite a bit with the AI side of things. Again, there's a lot of people doing, sorry, there's quite a few, not a lot, there's quite a few people doing interesting things that could really be brought together. And I know Andrew and I talked ages ago about trying to sort out a, not necessarily developer conference, but a sort of get together of people who are actually interested in doing this stuff and trying to understand how to get things done. But I haven't put the time in to do that, because I'm not great at that sort of thing, and also I've not been feeling great and with lots of energy. So anyway, these are the things that I'm trying to do. Monday is the, what's it called, Roogle meeting, and I believe it's a free-for-all. Yeah, there you go. Oh no, that's that. Don't take me to Zoom. Don't do that, please. No. I wanted to go to Roogle.jelly. Jelly baby? Oh, I don't know. Let's just do that. Jelly baby. I was right. Yeah. So the meeting tomorrow is still to be confirmed. There's no particular topic on that. So. Yes, the Riscos Limited Developer Conference was interesting. It was a good day. So we had a good day there, except for the people that got us doing a whole bunch of work because they desperately needed things, and we worked over the weekend afterwards, and then they weren't interested. And it was a good lesson in don't want to be. Don't be too willing to jump on what people say is important or urgent. Hey-ho. Yes, the other bit is I'd like to integrate some of the bits from Phil for doing the replay stuff into the build environment as well, because that would potentially allow things. I mean, I'm not genuinely not sure that having replay is a particularly useful thing, but yeah. I seem to remember that we did explicitly say that lunch wasn't. I don't remember. I remember some of the things, but Oh, I do remember I didn't get any lunch because people had collared me for a load of things and I couldn't escape. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, so long ago. So many painful memories. Anyway, the point is that we're meant to do things better now. Here we are, still generating mermaid shots. Apparently they've all changed. That's frustrating, but yeah, it's going to keep doing that until it gets done, and then we'll have a updated page. Wikis usually run quite quickly, but apparently it's going to take a while. 19 minutes apparently if it has to generate the lot. Ugh, that's nasty. Oh no, that's just for the running of the binaries. I don't know now. 9 minutes, so it's probably nearly there then. Yeah, hopefully that'll do. I'll just hang around and see if it completes, because if it does complete, then we can just have a quick look and see where we're at. Ah, there we go. It's updating more. Wow. Oh yes, of course, because it's uploading it to my web storage, because I've got a lot of space there. Don't know why it's decided that it needs to regenerate them, but I think maybe the cache is not, because it hasn't updated recently. There's been no cache. Cache not found. There you go. So it must have expired. That's rather frustrating. So consequently, it had to regenerate everything. And it's probably put them back looking exactly the same. Maybe we should update the documents before we do the images. That would probably be a better idea, wouldn't it? Because then we could actually look at things and see what was going on, even if the graphs weren't right. Right, it's nearly finished though. There we are. Yay! Lots of stuff. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, it's just doing the race prevention now. Right, so if we have a look at the wiki now, we should get some different numbers here. Yeah, I think they're different. I think this one's gone up a bit. This one. Maybe not. Oh yes, because PS2 driver's in there and serial mouse is in there and things. So there's a little bit higher there. But most importantly, if we go back to the current status, we can now see for everything that we've got some links on here for the extra components. Probably. PS2 driver's got a link. Serial mouse. There we go. Whoa. All done. And of course we've got things like territory. Where's territory? Mark down there as well. So yeah, it has rebuilt it. Right. Anyway, did you use any of the Fable tools? Says Riscos Tech. So I used it at work because I have larger projects at work, but I didn't use it at home because it was. I mean, you can still use it now, but it's not. Most of the time, I'm using Sonnet because it doesn't cost as much in terms of tokens, and I can get a lot more done in a day using that. If I use Opus, then it just burns through tokens. Both the extra thinking and the extra cost just means that my 5-hour window does very little, whereas with Sonnet I can get a lot more done and the quality is pretty good. I do, however, use Opus if I want to do a review of things. So doing a review of something where there's things that are a little bit more complex, I'll do that. But largely I just haven't bothered with Fable at home. At work, because I'm working with 20-30 different repositories, all of which are full applications, not these small modules that we're dealing with in Riscos. and have large-scale deployments into Kubernetes, it's important that they be both consistent between one another and in general style. So issues with security, issues with design and applications are really important to get right. So I've been using Opus 4.8 and little bits of Fable on that. I keep getting encouraged by my boss to use Fable more or to put it onto fast, but a lot of the time I don't think it's necessary. I'm not really needed to do it. So it's come up with pretty much the same sort of answers when I've used Fable as when I've used Opus. I don't think I'm doing the right sort of doing the right sort of problems for Opus and Fable to be an issue. I mean, most of the time Codex is actually pretty good. Codex is around about Sonnet's level. So I found, oh actually no, I tell a lie. Codex has gone down in quality. No, Sonnet has gone up in quality between with the new release, the version 5 release. Version 5? Yeah, 5. And now it's much better than Codex. Sonnet is now about equivalent to Sonnet on medium and high is about equivalent to 4.8 Opus 4.8 on medium. I haven't really seen too much. You do have to generally give Sonnet a bit more of a prod to do certain things, but yeah, that's what I've experienced anyway. And it does depend on the particular use, because I'm not doing at work. I'm DevOps. I do a bit of software development, but a lot of integration work, and so it's the being able to work between the different systems is what matters to me, and Sonnet is usually just fine with that. At least that's my experience anyway. Also, if you push Sonnet up to high and max, it really does outperform Opus. Certainly 4.7 and 4.8 on medium. Sonnet with ultra code, I've not really seen any use for using ultra code. I mean, maybe you because you've got a higher. So Viscous Texting has used ultra code for doing module stuff, and 4.8 max for apps. He's got a higher, what do we call it, tier than I have, because I can do stuff with that at work, but not at home because it's just expensive. And so I've not been doing that. Anyway, that's my experience with it anyway. Okay, I think we're good. I think we can safely say that this has turned out quite well. Yeah. And it still needs to finish things. Yeah, one other thing is the discussions that I've been having with an individual for vector handling. I need to come back to those, but we've got a plan. I've got a plan for how to handle module vector claiming. Sorry, just vector claiming, not modules. And that usually gives me a good result out of it. When I've got a plan, I can usually get the right thing out of it. I do need to implement a new CMunge for that, which means we'll need rebuilds of all the CMunge modules, but it'll only really matter if they've got vectors on them and they weren't functional before anyway, so that's not too bad. But that'll take things a bit further on with that as well. Yeah, I think both myself and Talia ran out of Claude credits on last week, around the same sort of time. Myself, because I was doing a large block of work on 2 separate components running multiple. I had like 3 or 4 sessions running, some for simple things and some for complex ones, and I ran out. And I was like, oh, fine, okay, leave it until the next one. And then switched over to using Codex because I've got a plan on that as well. Yeah, all fun. Anyway, I'm calling it a day now. I'm starting to feel a bit rather icky. Yeah, very icky actually. Have a good time, good weekend. and I'll speak to you later. I'll go and I'll post something up on the channel later. All right, see you later. Have a good weekend.